light problem. This is what I was worried about. As I was editing this video, I realized that I didn't even tell you what sweater I'm making. So we're making the Sunday brunch sweater by Kuto Bikiko with We Are Knitters Mary Wool in Dusty Pink. I made not one, not two, but 3 gauge swatches, and I even blocked this one. But this middle one, the 7mm hook one, I'm glad that I made as many as I did just in case. I got really close to the gauge. I didn't get it exactly, but I'm just gonna have to call it good and start this sweater if I ever want to get it done. I finished the first panel on my knit sweater and I'm working on the second one now. And low-key, I was holding this up and I was like, wait, this color is gonna look so cute with this skirt. It's definitely not perfect, perfectly imperfect. Let's just say there's a lot of places my soul is going to be able to escape from this one. If you know, you know. I definitely messed up on the cast off in the middle here. There's like some weird stuff going on and like, I literally, like what the hell? Like, I legit couldn't tell you how that happened, but it did, and it's fine, and I love it, and I'm working on the second panel now, and I'm determined not to lose any steam, so wish me luck. Since this is really like my first vlog, I just wanted to talk a little bit about how I got started with crochet and now knitting, and you know, just like how I got here in front of this camera. When I was 20, I started grad school, 21, I started grad school here in Colorado, and I did not have that much money. I wanted a way to make like unique clothes, stuff that was different. It was also, I'm a pretty small person, and it was hard for me to find stuff that I thought like fit, that was flattering, believe it or not. That was also like my style though. I think that was the main thing. So I went to one of the local knitting stores up in Fort Collins. It's called My Sister Knits. I got a hook, I got some yarn, and I started watching YouTube videos trying to learn how to crochet. And I picked crochet because I saw people knitting and I was like, 2 needles looks complicated. I'm gonna stick to the one that has 1 tool and go from there. And looking back, I realize now, like, I had a friend who would knit and she was using DPNs for something, double pointed needles, and that scared me away big time. I'm not that scared anymore though. I think I'll use them eventually, but that's why I chose crochet over knitting initially. I could not figure out for the life of me how to do a chain. I watched YouTube videos for hours and hours and like literally could not figure it out. That ball of yarn and hook that I bought just stayed in a bag under my nightstand for like, I think a year, almost a full year, and I just never touched it. And then my second year of grad school rolled around and I was like, still can't really find what I'm looking for, maybe I should try again. So I did, and I was finally able to get it down. I think the same day that I learned how to do a chain, it was literally like a chain reaction. I just understood, like I had this understanding of how the stitches worked, so I went and got some more yarn and I actually crocheted a beanie, if not, like not all in that same day, but within that same like week. It was not pretty, but I love it. It was my first project and the rest is kind of history. That was like late 2019, so I learned how to crochet right before the pandemic. I remember when things were shutting down, I raced to Joann's and picked up a ton of yarn to make a hexagon cardi because I learned that those were things. So I was like, okay, time to hunker down. I'm gonna do a big project. And so that was my next project. I really was into crop tops to start, but I didn't get into knitting until this year, which is 2023. So I'd been crocheting for like 3.5 years. And I think I'm coming up on 4. And I wanted to learn how to knit because the stitches just behave in a way that crochet stitches don't, so there are just different things that you can do with it that you can't really do with crochet. I was just ready to learn something new, so I thought, why not try knitting? They had a local knitting class at my local yarn store, and I went. And I actually ended up making a couple of friends there, which was awesome. We still get together and knit sometimes, and now we hang out at that yarn store a lot. Okay, it's been a hectic week I've been crocheting and knitting a lot. I finished the second panel on my sweater. Very exciting. We have 2 in the works, and I did get a chance to start on the sleeves, but they looked a little small. I was nervous about it. I did them on 5mm straight needles and circular needles. I don't know if it's gonna make a difference in the end. It shouldn't, because they're the same size, right? Okay, I have my 2 panels. I just finished a sleeve last night. I was fully like intending on blocking these after the fact, but it's so curly that actually in Kika's video, she does this thing where she like wets a towel and then places it on top of the piece and then like steams it. And I have a steamer, so I think that's what I'm gonna do because I want this to not be like as curly clearly before I seam these pieces together, which I'm getting pretty close to needing to do. So that's probably what I'm gonna do today. And then I will work on the other sleeve. It actually knit up really quick, so I'm really hoping that I can finish both sleeves and have them steamed like by Christmas, and then sometime next week I will sew it all together and then do the last part is to do the neckline. So let's steam these pieces. Okay, it's the day after Christmas and I just have to make the last couple rows of increases on my second sleeve, and then I'm gonna block them. That's my cat attacking a plastic bag. Anyways, I think I went one too many rows and I should have been doing the increases. So I'm gonna undo most of the row that I just did, start my increases, keep going, and then hopefully by the end of the day, my second sleeve will be done. I can block it, and then I'm going ice skating tomorrow, so I'm hoping that I can get this all done and wear it out for the first time tomorrow. So fingers crossed, wish me luck. Also, my friend Bronwyn turned me on to using the iPad for patterns. I inherited one a couple years ago and I don't use it a lot. It just wasn't a habit for me, but I saw her using it to read patterns and I was like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe that I haven't been doing this. So that's just a hot tip for you. If you have an iPad, definitely start using it to read patterns. It makes a huge difference. Can I help you? I'm just trying to work on my sleeves, missus. No? Lovely. Okay, I just put on the sweater after I seamed up the first side and I have a slight problem. This arm is super tight, so I think I don't really know what I'm gonna do yet. I'm either gonna have to stretch this arm out. It's so tight right here, like right at the seam. Shoot, I'm gonna have to think about this, and it might need to wait until the morning. Obviously, this is what I was worried about in the first place, and when I was making the sleeve, I was like, I don't know, I think it might be too small. But I did start on the sleeves, but they looked a little small. So that kind of sucks. So the next day, this is me the next day, I started on sleeve 3 of 4 at this point, and I sized my needles up like 2 millimeters, and I did not finish the sweater in time for ice skating, nor did I finish it in time for the new year. Let me just say that. This took way longer than I thought it would. Definitely learned I should make a gauge swatch. I didn't get gauge to begin with, so I have to wonder if that's why this came back the way that it did for me, but it is what it is. The goal is to have something that you're gonna reach for in your closet, so really my only option was to redo the sleeves, and that's what I did. I leave for 2 seconds. The more I work on this sweater, the more I am humbled with realizing that I don't really know what I'm doing, because I seamed up the sleeve and the whole side of the sweater for the first sleeve because I needed to make sure that it fit before I started the second one, which is what I should have done the first time. And now the sweater does not lay flat. Let me show you what I mean. So many ends to weave into. So this is the sleeve that was attached, right? Seamed it all up, so obviously the 2 panels don't lay flat. So now when I'm attaching this sleeve, it is just a wonky mess. I'm sure it's gonna be fine, but it is hilarious to me that I did not take that into consideration, so. Finished the sweater last night. I think it turned out really good for a first try. The panels maybe could have been a little bit bigger, sleeves maybe could have been a little bit longer, but like overall, super stoked that this is my first project and I'm so excited to keep knitting. Definitely have the knit bug and don't see myself stopping anytime soon. Oh geez. There we go. I was standing up and recording, but that just feels like a little too formal for me. So I'm gonna sit. 1 second. Okay, I feel like I learned so many things on this project. I learned how to do a 1x1 rib. I learned how to cast off in the middle of a row. I learned how to actually knit in the round for the collar. I learned how to make this more like defined rib stitch by intentionally twisting my stitches. I learned that you should definitely make a gauge swatch before you start your sleeves, because just because you made one for the body doesn't mean it's going to be the same on the sleeves. And if you attach one sleeve before the other one, it's going to throw off the whole way that the garment lays, and it'll be way harder to attach the second one. So definitely going to keep that in mind next time. But yeah, overall this is just like a huge learning experience. I'm super proud of myself. I definitely have the sweater bug. Like, I want to make so many sweaters this year. Like, this is the year of my knit sweaters. So I'm super excited. Shout out Kuta Vikika for the pattern and the tutorial. I'll link it maybe up here, if not in the description. Definitely time for me to go take a nap. If you watched this whole video, holy, you're a real one. Thanks so much for making it this far. Check out some of my other videos maybe, and subscribe so you can follow along with all the knit and crochet makes. And I just super appreciate you. Thanks so much. I gotta find a less awkward way to sign off. Okay, bye.